Hey Capsuleers, thanks for checking into my YouTube channel again and watching this video, which is going to be a follow-up to my previous video, which was Comet Harassment 3. Now this is another EVE Online video where I'm going to go over my fitting and some of the things I did well, some of the things I did poorly with this ship. Now I wanted to try out kiting. The Comet is my go-to outside of the Heke. It was the ship I learned to PvP in first. Now I used a blaster variant when I first started, and I've got some good responses about this ship with regards to kiting as well. And this fitting actually came from a gentleman in-game. His name was Dado Kopla, and he said he used this with some success. Now me personally, I had limited success with this thing. Now I was able to achieve what I felt was the kiting mentality or practice or way about doing things. It just was not for me in the end. Now with this fit, I do use a micro warp drive. One of the challenges with a micro warp drive is if you get scrammed, you lose all speed bonus. The warp scrambler is the one module that can kill a micro warp drive, in contrast to a warp disruptor, which I have fitted. It's longer range, but it will not shut down a micro warp drive. So I spent a lot of time in low sec with this ship, and what you'll find, or what I found in low sec, was a lot of people use afterburners for that reason. And they use a tactic called scram kiting, where they will use a warp scrambler to shut off a micro warp drive if one is fitted, as well as stasis webifiers. Now the stasis webifier is used to slow down your target while you maintain range control on them in your faster ship. Now with this fitting, the ultimate goal for me was to be in the sights in low sec first, because the way low sec combat typically works is you'll go to a complex or a faction warfare complex and you'll warp through an acceleration gate, and when you do, you land at 0 in the sight. And if you happen to land after your target, they have optimal or plenty of opportunity to get warp scram on you, shut down your prop mod, yada yada. My goal was to be in those sites before the people I was fighting. That way I could maintain a range of approximately 10 kilometers to 12 kilometers of that 0 point in the sites, and I could get my warp disruptor on them, have my micro warp drive running, and maintain some range outside of scram range in case they had one fitted and they couldn't kill my prop mod and I was able to kite them off. With that being said, the thing I found was with the micro warp drive, you move so fast, these railguns track very, very, very poorly. I had a hard time, and maybe it was just me. I did my best to, as I was keeping range on them, keeping my transversal and angular velocity down. What that means is, as I was keeping range on them, I wasn't trying to burn, say, at a 90-degree angle from them. I was trying to stay like 180 degrees across from them, or burning the opposite way, or at them at some sort of variance. And the reason for doing that was I was trying to give my railguns prime opportunities for hits, and I was still getting miss and miss and miss. And perhaps it was my ammo choice. I did use some faction ammo to test it. I used Spike, which is Tech 2 ammo, to test it, and I still had a very hard time tracking with these railguns. And so what happened was, after quite a few losses, I defaulted back to my brawling tactics, and in doing so, I used a low sec Comet, which is blaster fit, and I will show you the fitting right here. This ship worked extremely well as a brawler after I went back to blasters and my usual brawl tactics, because what I found was a lot of people in these complexes are brawlers. They are scram kiters. They like to stay within warp scram range, use a stasis webifier, and apply damage fairly close. This ship excelled really, really well at that, because the ship was fast, as well, using the ancillary armor repper, similar to how I fly my Hecates. This thing is very, very tanky. A frigate with a base tank of 7,000 EHP, that's nothing to sneeze at. As well, as you can see, if I load Void, I am doing 332 damage unheated, 375 overheated, which is quite good for a faction frigate. Now bear in mind, this is a new pilot. I've recently returned to the game, so I do get a bit of a bonus for rate of fire and damage multiplier. So with that being said, I believe this ship, without that damage multiplier, you're only doing about 330 DPS overheated. But still, that is a significant amount of damage to be doing in a frigate. So over the course of the video, you're going to see through the clips, I'll start out by showing you a lot of the kiting losses I had. Here's a Damovic I died to while I was trying to kite. He was newt fit. He applied really well with the Triglavian weapon, the light entropic disintegrator. Also, he was newt fit, and that hurt me quite a bit. I tried a few different tactics here. I tried using faction ammo up close with people. I went to nullsec a couple of times. These are some of my losses. I did fly a Dramiel a couple times just as an experiment after I got frustrated with how poorly I was doing kiting. And then I did go back to my Blaster Comet, which I had some really good fights with my Blaster Comet. And big shout out to Jebby, who many of you know as Evlog on Twitch. Now, he streams regularly. He does nothing but low sec PvP from what I've seen. He's an extremely nice guy, and he was kind enough to brawl me with his Daredevil. Using his Daredevil, we had a couple really strong fights where I brought my Blaster Comet, and extremely close. Now, I thought for sure I would be able to break him due to some pilot miscalculations on what I thought he would do for range control, yada yada. I had some poor ammo choices. I did die to him twice, but Jebby was kind enough to give me some ISK, replace my ships, and it was extremely generous of him, and very much appreciated. But these are some of the kills I had in low sec. I spent the majority of the time making this video in low sec just because frigate combat is very popular in low sec. I mean, being only 4 jumps from Jita and Amar, which is where I spent a lot of my time, it's convenient. You die, you reship, you go back out. But after I switched to blasters, as you can see, I got some kills on ships that were, you know, a class above me, but not necessarily better, as I applied extremely well to them. Also had some kills with the kiting ship, a minor, which, yeah, it's a minor, whatever. But a few times I did get a fight with this Eddie Cowell gentleman. He brought an Atron a couple times. He was a really good PvPer. But I was able to maintain my range control on him and get the kill with this one. So watch the clips. There's a lot of good content with me practicing kiting where a kill doesn't occur. Either I don't die or I don't kill something. And I think I got, you know, what I felt was a good practice or premise of how to kite. But it's, to me, spending 5 to 10 minutes on grid to achieve the same thing as I could spending 30 seconds on grid with blasters, it's not my cup of tea. I did default back to brawling. You'll see some of those clips as well. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. And as always, if you have any questions, if you think there's another ship out there that I might be able to practice with better, send an in-game mail to Scarlet X. That's my character. And I'm happy to chat with you about it, share some fittings, and go over some things maybe you think I did wrong. But yeah, enjoy the video. I'm going to text narrate it. I won't voice narrate the whole thing as with Comet Harassment 3. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you very much for stopping in. Fly safe out there and keep your stick on the ice. Take care, guys.
Feels like I'm running in place. Oh, past I can't erase. I'm breaking apart. I know they're after me. It's like I'm fading each day. They took it all
day truth died. Blood on my hands, throw 'em up in the sky. I was a #1 sinner, no less. My life was a lie and my wish was a death. I fell in love with the ways of the world. Money, the fame, the booze, the girls. But I couldn't stay faithful if I tried. I turned into a devil, you can see it in my eyes. I blacked out, told you everything I ever did. I couldn't take all the lies I was living with. I broke your heart, woke up the next day. My bag's outside, yelling, get the hell away. You're not a husband, not a father, just a pig. And you can never change all the things that you did. That's when I knew it wouldn't last. You'll never get away when you're running from the past.
Fly into outer space, afloat away, but you're my gravity. Die to love another day. We rise again and lose our gravity.
I'm a broken man, I'm full of sin. I'm sick of all this hell that I'm living in, and I can't escape it. This is how it feels when you try to numb the pain with 1,000 pills. You tore me down, wish that I was dead. Said you wanna sleep alone in another bed, but when I push away, you only pull me closer. It's only over when we both wanna say it's over. I gotta change, this is not who I am. I wanna start over, wanna try this again. You're everything I need, everything I'm not. So pull the trigger, give me one more shot.
Fly into outer space, afloat away, but you're my gravity. Die to love another day. We rise again and lose our gravity.
You love me, you hate me, you kiss me, you break me, you lifted me up just to watch you support me. You promised me, look me straight in the eyes. No matter what you say, I don't know truth from the lies. So held you up, like I always do. I forgave you for your sins and I carried you through. No matter how hard we fought, we always knew you would bleed for me and I would bleed for you.
Fly into outer space, afloat away, but you're my gravity. Die to love another day. We rise again and lose our gravity.
Fly into outer space, afloat away, but you're my gravity. Die to love another day. We rise again and lose our gravity. Fly into outer space, afloat away, but you're my gravity. Die to love another day. We rise again and lose our gravity. If you take a step towards me, you will take my breath away. So I'll keep you close and keep my secret safe. No one else has ever loved me, no one else has ever tried. I never understood how much I could take. Then I saw the worst was over when I laid my eyes on you. It was all that I could do to know my place. Out of all the past illusions, out of all the dreams come true, I was gone until I finally saw your face. If you cried out for more, if you reached out for me,